Hey, I wanted to make a guide on how to do weighted sums because when you see build guides, you'll see a lot of, oh, these are the stats you want, oh, this is what you want, but it doesn't really tell you how to buy it. So I was going to do two things. I was going to do a wand and then like a ring. And they're both going to be catered towards chaos.lich, but it's the same concept, so it should translate relatively easy. So let's say I want a wand, I'll just go item category, I'll do wand. And then on PoE2DB or any other like sort of database site, I'm not sure if there's any more, you'll go to modifiers, look for your wand, one-handed weapon wand, and this sucks. And these are all the modifiers that can roll on wand. And you can get 3 prefix and 3 suffix. So with the normal and stat filter, I'm gonna want to get chaos spell skills. For me right now, I'm broke, so I only went 4 or more. But this just means it's an and filter. It doesn't show, but that's what it is. This just means I need to have this on there. If it doesn't have it on there, I don't want it. So for the rest of the stats, I'm gonna do a weighted sum, and I'm just gonna kind of go and shop. So I don't care about mana. I'm not gonna add that, but I do like spell damage, so I'll add spell damage. I like chaos damage. And I'm going to start these out at 1. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is these numbers and how they compare to each other. So I value spell damage and chaos damage the same. As far as the prefixes go, I don't really care about any of these other ones, so I'm not going to put anything else. What this will let happen is that it'll look for these when trying to find good items, but it'll allow other prefixes. So you'll find less optimal items, but it'll be way cheaper. And then now I'm going to look at my suffixes. I don't mind intelligence. I don't mind mana regeneration rate. Oops, sorry. I don't mind game mana per kill. I don't mind cast speed. I'm willing to do critical chance, but I don't prefer it, so we'll get to there. I don't like crit damage. Mana regenerate, I already got that. I actually do run freeze, so I will throw on freeze buildup. And then that's it. So I have all the modifiers that I want off of a wand right here. What you can do is you can click to see the rolls. So I can get up to 120 spell damage. For chaos, I can get up to 120 as well. So what I'll do is I'll set these to 1 because I value them equally, and then I'll make everything based off of that. So int, I value it around the same, but it can only roll 3 at max, or 30 at max. So I'm going to multiply it by 4 to get that 30 to 120. So this essentially says, hey, I value intelligence just as much as I value these, but it can only roll 4 times less, so I'm putting a 4. I'm going to set it to 3 just because I don't really care about intelligence, to be honest with you, so I'm going to weigh it a little less. I might even later drop it to like 2, but that's where you kind of start and how you change it. Mana regeneration rate, this rolls up to 70. I'm going to just double it. I do like mana regen, so I'll keep it there. 70 times 2 is 140. That's close enough to 120. I'll lower it a little bit. Gain mana per killed. I do like this one. I value it equally to the spell damage as well. So I'll try to match it. So 45 times 3 is a bit close enough to 120. I'll do like 2.75. Cast speed. I really like cast speed. I really love cast speed. I might even value it more. 35, that's the max roll, times 4. That's 120. That's the max roll of the spell damage, so I'm going to do at least 4. And cast speed I actually do value pretty high, so I'll stick with that. Crit chance, I really don't care about. It'll roll up to 100. I'm just going to put like 0.5. Like, I really don't want it at all. I would put 1 because 109 is close enough to 120 to value it the same. But like I said, I don't give a fuck about that. Freeze buildup, 80%, maybe like 1.5 to get to 120. But I also don't want it as much, so I'll do like 1.2. No, I'll just keep it at 1. And so now if you run it like this, you're going to get a shit ton of results because your weighted sum is actually doing nothing. But what you do is you'll start just increasing your minimum. I'll just throw out a number, 200, doesn't matter. 900 results. This will start showing things at a certain price. As you increase this number, the wands will get better and better. And so for me personally, I like to stop when my results are near around like 250. Because the more restricted you are with your weighted sum, the less... Long story short, it has its own calc. It doesn't think like a human thinks. So you only want it to go to a certain point before you stop. For me, I think the sweet spot is 100 to 300 results matched. It's not really a rule, but it's more just a rule of thumb. And then I'll just scroll. If I want, what I can also do is I can do another stat group. I'll do count. And I'll just do spell damage. Oops. And chaos damage. Because I don't want a wand without 80 of this combined. Oh, sorry, it has to be another weighted sum. I'm trolling. So what this says is that spell damage plus chaos damage has to be at least 80. Because that's what I'm looking for in a wand right now. So in total we have, has to have chaos spell skills. I think if I go over here, I guess all spell skills can roll +4 as well. Where is it? Right here. So I guess I'll turn this into a count. All spell skills. So this says, hey, give me one of these two. Either +4 chaos, +4 spell. And then this weighted sum says, hey, I want the stats to be this valuable. I want it to be at least this good. And then this weighted sum says, hey, give me 80 damage. And so I'll roll it, 200 results. These are like 20x. If they're too expensive for you, lower one of these two numbers. So I'll scroll through these first. Like, this looks pretty nice. It doesn't, I think it has the opener prefix. I could be trolling. Oh no, there's no opener prefix. So this is a fully rolled wand. It's okay. I would get this if it were a little cheaper. I probably wouldn't at this price though. This looks pretty okay. And then it tells you the sums. This first sum is the sum of my spell damage. It's right at 80. And the second sum, that's my first one. So this number is a quick number to tell how much spell damage it has, so you don't have to read. So 81 spell damage, 99 spell damage. All it did is add 70 plus 29. So like this 99 one looks pretty good. 80, bad. And then if I want it cheaper, maybe I want to try, oh, I'm okay with 60 spell damage total. And then it didn't even affect the price. So that's kind of a red flag there. Looks like I might as well just keep it at 80. And then I'll lower this to 200 to get cheaper results. This one, honestly, pretty good. And it's a little bit cheaper. I still wouldn't buy it, so I would lower it even more. Maybe like 180 and like 70. And then now I'm getting like consistent 10x results. And you can do that to your price range. Just make sure like you have a good amount of results. Higher is fine, but lower is better. But the lower you go on your match results, the more expensive things are going to get. That's just how it'll work. So yeah, if I wanted to spend 10x on a wand, I'd stop here and just keep going. If I wanted to spend even less, I'd go even less. I'd do like 150, 50. We're starting to get to this point where there's going to be so many of these, so these are cheap as hell. This is a good way to get an easy +4 wand to Exalted, really easy. And yeah, that's that. So now we'll do an example with, I was going to do a ring, but honestly, I'm going to do some armor, because armor works a little bit differently. So for armor, what I'm going to do is I don't want any armor or any evasion. So I'm going to put max of 0 for both of those categories. You can do that on any class. You could be like, oh, I'd never want armor. And you could just do this, but you're okay with evasion or energy shield or both. Or you can target, oh, I just want evasion. So you'll do it like that. Really simple. You'll set your item category to armor. Body armor, to be specific. And then you'll start selecting what you want. I want max life. I want max energy shield. There's actually 2 max energy shields on here on the trade site. I always add both because I'm not sure which one is the correct one. I want increased energy shield. I don't care about spirit for my build, but you could add spirit. I'll take some int. I'll take the 3 reses. I'll take cold, fire, lightning. I'll take chaos as well. Stun threshold I don't need. I get it from plenty of it from my energy shield. Life regen for a second I actually use a lot. It applies to my energy shield in the build I'm running. You can check it out on my channel. And honestly, these they're cool, but I don't really care about them, so I won't even throw them on there. This will be my weighted sum. And then for my build in particular, actually I won't do that. That's a little too much. I already showed you how to do multiple stat groups. If I wanted to, I could do and say, hey, it has to have max life on it. And I would just leave that like that blank. I will do that just for this example. So now I'll go and I'd like to either do spell damage on like weapons or resistances on here. So my elemental resistances I'll put as my base as number 1. Chaos res is usually a little more rare, so this is a 27 max roll, but this is a 45. So I normally just 1.5 or 2x chaos res depending on how much I need it. Int, same situation as earlier, but now instead of going to 120 on all of our stats, we're only going to 45. So I'll try to make everything equivalent to as if it were like 40 or 50. So when I'm looking at max life, I'm going to want to divide this by like 4 or 5. So I'm going to divide by 5, so that's 0.2. And then for energy shield, this max roll is 100. I'm going to do just like 0.5. I'd probably do 0.4. Just because I kind of like it to be a little bit higher if I get it. As far as this goes, it's 110%, so I don't know, I'll just do 0.5, it's good enough. Maybe 4 or 5. Intelligence. Max roll's 30, so I'll just do like, I'll leave it at 1, because honestly, I don't care for intelligence that much, and keeping it at a lower value will make it show up less. And then life regen, I do like having a lot of life regen. So it rolls 30. 1.5-ish would make it 40, but I'm gonna do 2, just because I like to see it more. And then I'll just start my filter at 200. For armor, if you're looking for a certain value, you'll just go energy shield, and I'll just do 500. So I have 500 energy shield required, and my weighted sum. You can do it 2 ways. If you want to make it less complicated, you can ignore all your energy shield rolls. You can just exit them out. I did them for example. But you could just do it like this. It'll change the number for weighted sum, but basically I'm saying, hey, I want these stats to be this good. 200 good. It's just a random number, it doesn't mean anything. And at least 500 energy shield. And I'll search, no results, my filter's too strict. I'll try again. 150, 77 results. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, just because I like to see more results. Anyway, 500 sounds good. I'm looking for a cheap one. So, this one, 445, this is actually really nice. It's unsocketed, unqualitied, so this will shoot up to like way higher, like even like probably 700 even. Nah, not that high. I don't know. This one's good though, but it kind of has mediocre stats down here. So I'm gonna make my filter a little bit more strict. I'll try 140. 150 results, good enough. And this one, 500, it's qual unsocketed. It's okay. This is the number you'll trust for your armor values. This one right here, no quality, but it's 500. That's not bad. Double res. I would buy this. This looks good enough for me. But that's how I would do it. It's the same concept as before, but there's a couple different things to it. The rings are pretty easy to do, but there's a lot more stats, so you'll mess with the rated sum. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You just put what you want, and then you look for it. And as you learn weighted sum, you'll kind of learn to optimize a little better. But I tried to make something where it just works. Like this just works. All you have to do is multiply. I picked as my base, I picked elemental res because they all roll the same values, 40 to 45, and I just made everything match that. So max life, 200-ish. I need to get it to 40, 45. Okay, easy. Divide by 5. And then you'll divide this number by 5 and you'll get 0.2. And that's just how you do it. It's super easy. In Loki, if anybody needs help with weighted sums or trying to buy things, I'm willing to help. If you have any trouble or any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. But it's pretty idiot proof. Like, it's pretty easy to do. And don't be scared to just ignore this or ignore all these and just do the weighted sum. It won't be as good, but you would just add your energy shield ones back and you'd be fine. So yeah, that's about it.